Hello everyone, this is Etta. I'm living in Huadu, China. But this week, I'm going to a place that is important to my husband. Not a famous tourist place, not a famous place that foreigners used to search online. We are going back to his home village in Shandong. My husband works in Italy most of the year, but every 6 months he would want to go back to see his parents. But this time, he is bringing me and our baby with him. For many Chinese people, their home village is not just a place. It's where your parents are. It's where your childhood began. And sometimes, even if you live away, even if your life has changed completely, this place still feels like a root. Today, I want to show you why Chinese people still care so much about their hometown. Before we leave, we have to prepare a lot of things. Baby clothes, milk bottles, diapers, small toys, and also some gifts for my husband's parents. This is not just a normal trip. For my husband, this is going back home. He is from a village in Jining, Shandong, but now, most of the time, he works in Italy. When he comes back to China, we usually live in Guangzhou. So actually, he doesn't spend much time in his own hometown anymore. But from 2 years ago, he made a decision. Every 6 months, he wants to go back to see his parents. And if possible, he wants to take them to a new place at each time before they become too old to travel. When he told me this, I slowly understand something. For him, going back to the village is not only about visiting a place, it's about trying not to miss time with his parents. China is a very big country. We live in Guangdong, in the south of China. My husband's home village is in Shandong, in the north. So this is not driving for 30 minutes to see a family. We need to take a plane, carry luggage, taking care of the baby, and spend a lot of energy on the road. But for many Chinese families, distance is not the real problem. If your parents are there, you still feel you should go back. In Chinese, we often say 老家. It means your old home, your hometown, or the place where your family originally comes from. But emotionally, it means more than that. It means no matter where you go, there is still a place that connects you to your family. When we arrive at the village, it looks very simple. Old houses, neighbors who know each other, a quiet yard. For someone who doesn't know my husband's story, this may just look like an ordinary Chinese village. But for him, this is where he grew up. This is where his parents still live. This is where many memories started. When his parents saw the baby, you could feel they are very happy. They may not say many emotional words. Many Chinese parents, especially older parents, are not used to saying I miss you or I love you directly. But they show it in many other ways. They prepare food. They ask if you are tired. They tell you to eat more. They look at the baby again and again. In China, love is often not spoken loudly. It's hidden in small actions. My husband's father is around 60 years old. He still works as a security guard in a small factory nearby. His income is not high, around 1,400 RMB a month. For many people, this may sound very little, and yes, compared with city life, it's not much. But what touches me is not the number, it's his attitude. He doesn't want to feel like a burden to his children. He still wants to feel useful. Even when my husband gives money to his parents, they often save it. They don't spend much on themselves. They always think maybe one day the children will lead it. This is something I find very Chinese, especially in older generations. Parents spend their whole life thinking about their children. Even when the children grow up, even when the children already have their own family, the parents still think this way. In Chinese culture, there is a word called 孝顺. It means filial piety. But I think this word is difficult to translate completely. It's not only about obeying your parents, it's also about remembering what they did for you, caring about them when they are old, and not forgetting where you come from. My husband works far away from home most of the time. He cannot take care of his parents in daily life. He cannot eat dinner with them every week. He cannot help them immediately when something happens. So I think deep inside, he feels a kind of guilt. That's why he wants to come back regularly, not because anyone forces him, but because he feels my parents are getting older and time with them is becoming less and less. For many Chinese people, going back to the home village is also going back to see the people who gave you everything when you had nothing.
没有了。
This time, we are not only going back to the village, my husband also wants to take his parents to Beijing. For many people, Beijing is a famous tourist city, but for his parents, this may be more meaningful. They spend most of their life working, saving money, and thinking about their children. They didn't have many chances to travel. So my husband wants to take them to different places while they can still walk and enjoy it. I think this is also a very Chinese kind of love. Sometimes Chinese children don't say, I love you, mom and dad, but they may say, let me take you somewhere. Let me pay for this. Let me arrange everything. You just follow me. In many Chinese families, love is practical. It's not only words. It's tickets, meals, hotel rooms, walking slowly with your parents, and making sure they are not too tired. The home village may not be perfect. It may not be rich. It may not be convenient, and the house is old. Sometimes the life may still be simple, but that's not the point. For many Chinese people, the point is someone still waiting for you there. Your parents may still live there. Your children may be remembered there. Your neighbors may still remember whose child you are. For many Chinese people, and when you come back, you are not only a worker, a husband, a wife, or a parent. You become someone's child again. I think this is why home village is still emotional in China. It reminds you that before you become who you are now, you come from somewhere, and that somewhere still matters. So why do many Chinese people care so much about their home village? For my husband, going back to the home village is not just visiting a place. I think it's facing part of himself that belongs to that place. Even though he works in Italy, even though we live in Guangzhou, even though his child may grow up in a different environment, the village is still part of our family life. I think this is what root means in Chinese culture. You can go far, you can live in a different city, in another country, another life, but somewhere there is still a small road, an old house, and two parents still waiting for you there. Before this trip, I knew my husband cared about his home village. After this trip with him, with our baby, I understand it in a deeper way. For many Chinese people, home village is not just a place to visit. It's where your parents grow old. It's where your family story began. It's where you remember who you are before life took you far away. So, is there a place in your life that makes you feel like a root to you? Leave a message and tell me in the comments. See you next time. Bye bye.